It's time for dinner.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
From the creative mind of Scott Bertelson, after 4 decades of teaching our impressionable youth,
The dinner bell.
you are invited to enjoy conversational morsels for the mind at Mr. B's dinner party.
Yeah, dinner.
I hear you knocking, but you can come in. Oh, yes.
Mr. B's got a table so wide. Pull up a chair, let your worries slide. School days, tales, and a movie or two. He's serving up wisdom with a side of stew. Belly up to the table, my friend. The feast of thought will never end. From travels far to a spiritual climb, morsels of musing served in rhyme.
I want to welcome all my guests today at Mr. B's dinner party. Come on in. The table is set, and I invite you to sit down, relax, get out your napkin, put it in your lap, and start thinking about the delectable morsels of the mind that we're going to be looking at today. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourself, and welcome to Mr. B's dinner party.
For the next course, come one, come all. Nothing spoiled here. From comfort classics to what's hot now. Film reviews from Mr. B's Rewatchables.
My happy film lovers, I have such eclectic taste in movies. For example, I've shared with you lots of horror films, and you might think, oh my gosh, is that all he watches? Oh, absolutely not. No, I don't. And do I sit all day and watch movies? No, absolutely not. I'm busy. I have a life, whatever that is. I enjoy my life. I enjoy my my happy life. But occasionally, I will say I like to let go of reality and slip into a film. For example, this morning, early in the morning, about 5 o'clock, I was watching Wuthering Heights and with Laurence Olivier, and I'm not sure if I'm going to talk about that film or not, but we'll see. The beauty of streaming is that you can always come back to it. So I like films of all decades. I do like some recent films. Next time I'm going to talk about Wicked and For Good and give you my impressions of those two films. And today I have quite a wild choice. I was watching TCM, Turner Classic Movies, and I've always been a huge Joan Crawford fan. Mildred Pierce, I might do that movie sometime. Of course, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane also is a fantastic film. She made many, 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 many movies. And I think she was really quite a good actress. She also many times was a bad actress. But I came upon a movie called Torch Song. Yes, that's the title, Torch Song. And it's a 1953 film. And you can find it on TCM. And I have it saved because it is so trashy. That it's good.
Don't you shout at me!
No, really, it is. She has the best eyebrows and the most wonderful wardrobe. And Joan Crawford really did have some great chops for acting. Not necessarily are they displayed in this film, but I really recommend for you, if you've never seen a Joan Crawford film, to maybe check this one out. And it's a kind of a funny story. It's an MGM, I guess you could say musical. She does sing in this, but the kicker is she doesn't do her own singing. No, she's lip syncing. But she does a good job of it. It stars her and also a guy named Michael Wilding, who was married to Elizabeth Taylor at the time. And it's about a Broadway star and her blind rehearsal pianist. That's what I said, blind rehearsal pianist. Anyway, as I said, she lip syncs to the songs, and this film marked her return to MGM after leaving the studio to join Warner's in 1944, and she was quite successful at Warner Brothers. She won the Academy Award for Mildred Pierce, which was at Warner Brothers, but then her films weren't doing very well, and she became poisoned, and they let her out of her contract. The plot is about a Broadway diva with a very, very fiery temper.
Your idea of art's the fruit in the slot machine.
All right, Jenny, now you go home.
That's just what I'm going to do, Carl.
Yes, ma'am.
I won't need you tonight. I'm not going back to rehearsals.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you trying to do to me, baby? Put me in the hospital?
She's just not fun to be around. And she's very upset about her rehearsals for a new musical, which is called Evening with Jenny, because her name is Jenny Stewart, and she's been in lots of shows, and she's important, and everybody should know that.
I've rocked it a few times, Buster.
During the day, she rewrites dialogues, rearranges music, redesigns costumes. She tries to do everybody else's job because nobody can do it like Jenny. Nobody. But at night, we see the real Jenny, and she's very sad, very lonely. She shut everybody out. Have you heard this story before? Mm-hmm. So anyway, her rehearsal pianist finally says, I can't take this anymore. And they hire this blind pianist to come in who knows how to play all her songs. And but she doesn't like him because he's blind. So she wants him fired.
Tell him to take those 88 keys, black and white, one by one.
Stop it, Jenny.
And after that happens, she starts connecting with him. She meets up with him, and she reconsiders her harsh treatment. And she asks him to rejoin the show and finds herself finding him interesting, liking him. Yeah, she's been very, very cold to all people around her, but she seems to find something in him that she likes.
There's no mystery about me. It's been rumored that I'm rather brutally frank.
It's also been rumored that you're pretty and talented. You can get people to do what you want them to do without hitting first and asking afterwards.
This business has its own rules. You either hit first or get hit.
If anybody's going to be kicked around, it's not going to be you, is that it?
That's the world's oldest and smartest philosophy.
And the reason we had to make laws and establish religions.
But Ty doesn't really want to do it because he doesn't want to be taken advantage of her, by her, and treated like she is trash. They're going to take her show for out-of-town tryouts, and she, Jenny, wants Ty, the blind pianist, to go along, and he doesn't want to go. And he says he doesn't like her and that she's insufferable. And one day, her career will be destroyed because nobody will want to work with her. He calls her a, quote, gypsy Madonna, unquote. Gypsy Madonna.
That's a wilted summer stock line if ever I heard one.
And during an argument, and later, Jenny is visiting with her mother, and Jenny repeats the Gypsy Madonna line, which inspires her mother to dig out an old scrapbook. And then Jenny is stunned when she sees Ty's byline on the review of her first big show, because he was a theater critic before he became blind. And he called her a Gypsy Madonna. Yeah, the Gypsy Madonna. You're following? So anyway, Jenny is just overwhelmed because she knows that he loves her. And she rushes to his apartment and confronts him. And she accuses him of using his blindness as defense, the way that she uses her dominating personality to protect herself. And he explodes and throws things all over. It's really terrible acting in this whole film, and including the blind pianist. And he trips. Jenny comes to assist him. He admits that she's right, and they reconcile, fall into an embrace, and have a cold kiss on film. Now, what happens? Who knows? Do they live in bliss? Is that possible to live in bliss with Jenny Stewart? I don't know. But anyway, you might say, interesting story. Why do you like it? I like it because, number one, the costumes that she wears, beautiful, beautiful costumes, befitting for a Broadway star in the early 1950s. And also I like it because Joan Crawford was a beautiful, beautiful woman. And she is the utmost display of beauty in this film. And this character, Jenny Stewart, is known for her gorgeous, luscious legs. And Joan Crawford had a pair of legs like no other.
Jenny, you have no competition. They're living examples of perfect bilateral symmetry.
I mean the poster.
Oh, that's good too.
And she displays them all the time. So she was put together very, very well. And I'm not trying to sound sexist at all, but she was a goddess. She truly was, in terms of her looks. I also liked it because I love the whole theme of blindness, because she's blind to people around her. She won't appreciate people. She won't let other people really know what she's like. She won't display her sadness and her true loneliness to other people. She's blind to that until she meets an actually physically blind person. So you have the continuation of the metaphor. And he also hides behind his physical blindness. And so it's just a little heartwarming that two sad souls like this could come together, discover each other. And I just love the happy ending. And I also like the singing. I don't know who did the singing for Joan Crawford, but she had a wonderful voice. I don't know if Joan Crawford ever sang in a movie or not, but I guess it didn't feel like she was good enough to use her real voice. So that's quite different from most of the films that I talk about. And I really questioned myself, like, why would you talk about Torch Song? Because I will probably come back to it within the next few weeks. I'm going to keep it because it's just over-the-top acting and a slightly ridiculous story, but yet it's inviting and exciting to see her in these costumes and the thick lipstick that she wears and the heavy, heavy eyebrows, and which was very much a sign of beauty at that time, I guess. Anyway, it reminds me a little bit of Groucho Marx and his eyebrows. But anyway, I have rediscovered myself as a Joan Crawford fan. So you can find it on TCM. You can probably find it on a streaming service. You can probably find it on a cable station. Maybe. I don't think it was one of her most successful films, but one that brings a certain amount of pleasure to the discerning viewer to realize that something can be so bad that it's actually good. So, Torch Song, Joan Crawford. Check it out. Oh, yes, I actually remembered. I told you I would do a part 2, I believe, and if I didn't, I'm just saying it now, of why you should adore, love, want to be married to Jane Fonda, who's still vibrant today in her 80s, maybe even 90, whatever. But I mentioned a great number of films the last time we got together, and now I have some more that I think you should watch sometime on streaming, cable, whatever works for you. So, the first one that I would mention would be Barbarella. Yes, Barbarella. Now, Barbarella came out in 1968, and I've seen it. It's on Turner Classic Movies sometimes. It was directed by her first husband, Roger Vidam. Probably didn't say that correctly. It's based on a French comic series called Barbarella. And it really, when it came out, was really panned. It had terrible acting, a bad script, bad direction. But her famous zero-gravity striptease, and it's not really a striptease, opener for the film really is as fun today as it was then. There's a lot of physical comedy. It's an incredibly stupid story.
Barbarella is a 5-star, double-rated astronavigatrix Earth girl whose specialty is
Love.
And it was surely beneath Jane to be in this film, but hey, I guess you'll do almost anything for your husband. So, anyway, I would suggest maybe if you're in a really campy mood and you want to make fun of something, you might want to watch Barbarella.
you find adventure beyond your imagination when you get lost in space with Barbarella.
The other one I did not mention is called They Shoot Horses, Don't They? 1969. And it was directed by one of my favorite actors and directors, Sidney Pollack. And she portrays Gloria Betty, a failed actress who sets out to run a marathon to get notoriety from talent scouts. She did pick up an Oscar nod for Best Actress, but she didn't win. Her performance was very well received by the critics and takes place during the Depression.
What are you going to do, put us in cages and let them throw peanuts at us?
Look at us. We're all like this now. Dirty, swollen feet, no sleep. What do you want?
I ain't quitting. Help me.
It holds the record for the most Oscar nominations without receiving one for Best Picture. It received 9. Yes. So she's in this dance marathon, hoping that she'll be discovered. And it's a very dramatic, well-done film. So I would suggest you might want to think about that sometime. Just 2 or 3 more. California Suite, 1978, which is based on a Neil Simon play. Neil Simon was a quite prevalent playwright of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And this is about a group of people at a California Suite, which is a lush hotel. And she plays opposite Alan Alda, who was on MASH all those years.
She's not happy in New York, Hannah.
Nobody's happy in New York, but they're alive.
She plays a New Yorker who goes to Los Angeles to get her daughter from her screenwriting husband.
She'll abide by whatever decision we both make.
And it's very funny. It's very touching. The two of them have great chemistry. I really suggest that you see California Suite. Oh, there's a couple more that I could mention. Actually, I could go on for days about Jane Fonda movies, but I'll just mention Guilty Pleasure. In 2005, Monster-in-Law. This was Jane Fonda's return to the big screen after being away for a number of years when she was married to Ted Turner. And then she decided to come back, and I'm glad she did. This film is really stupid. This film is really bad, but I've seen it a number of times because it's funny. It's just funny. She plays a woman whose son is going to marry Jennifer Lopez. You would think that would be okay, but no, not to Jane. And so the character that Jane plays in the film tries to sabotage the marriage and tried to drive the Jennifer Lopez character away.
Just so you know, the crying bits are getting old. Just so you know, Kevin likes his girls thin. Come and get it, Grandma.
And I guess what I find enjoyable about it is the length that she will go to get rid of Jennifer Lopez. And you find out that she feels like there's not any woman whatsoever on the face of this earth that would be suitable for her son. But of course, as we normally have, we have the happy ending where they reconcile and they do get married, and Jane's character does accept Jennifer. It also has Wanda Sykes in it. That's another major reason I like this film, because she plays the sidekick, the personal secretary to Jane Fonda's character, who is a very well-known TV broadcaster who, because of getting older, loses her place on a TV show. And so then she's just like a fish out of water. Anyway, she is hilarious in this film. She has all these one-liners and makes fun of Jane Fonda all the time. That probably is the most important reason, Wanda Sykes, as to why I like that movie. And the last one I'm going to mention today is called The Morning After, which is directed by Sidney Lumet. And it's a story of a washed-up actress who wakes up one morning, she's in an alcoholic haze, and realizing she's in bed with a dead person. Yeah, not a great way to start the day. And so the film involves her relationship with a police officer played by Jeff Bridges to see whether or not she had anything to do with the death of this person. And I'm not going to tell you what happens or how she changes as a person, but it's a good performance from Jane, I think. She's very compelling as this down-on-her-luck actress, and how she wants to really change her life, but all she knows is acting. She doesn't know what else she could do. And so I would recommend The Morning After. Now, there might be more I could mention, but we're just going to leave it at that for today. So, Jane Fonda, you should have a mini movie extravaganza on the weekend just for Jane Fonda movies, because she's that good, and she will forever be emblazoned in my heart as one of the queens of cinema. Let it never be said that Scott doesn't have respect for great movie stars. Oh, Robert Redford. Yes, I've already talked about some of his films. I hope that you checked out some of those. I gave you quite an array of great films of Robert Redford. But since he's so popular and so great, let's talk about some more that I don't think I talked about. And if I did, let's see if I say the same thing. All right. I want to mention The Great Gatsby, 1974. Now, I know, and I listen to movie critic shows, and I recently listened to one where they talked about the top films of Robert Redford in their mind, and they surely did not include The Great Gatsby. I don't care. I loved it. He starred with Mia Farrow, who played Daisy. I loved the story. I loved the costumes, the whole jazz age of the 20s. I thought he was wonderful as Jay Gatsby, the unlikely, unhappy main character of a story, a guy who thinks he knows what love is and finds out that he doesn't. And it's a very tragic story, very, very tragic. But wow, did he look good in his suits. Yes. I mean, he could wear a paper bag and that man would shine. So anyway, he was beautiful in this film. I thought his acting was very good. He portrays this so-called millionaire that lives in New York, and he makes his money illegally from This is the time of the Prohibition, and he's a bootlegger. And you find out why he does it, what means he has gone to just to rediscover his love for Daisy, as portrayed by Mia Farrow, who also was amazing in this film. And so there have been many versions of The Great Gatsby. Buzz Luhrmann made one with Leonardo DiCaprio a few years back. That's also very beautiful, wonderful film. But I do have to say, first in my heart would be Robert Redford as Jay Gatsby. Another one would be the Out of Africa, which was 1985, and he plays this safari hunter who falls in love with Meryl Streep, who has come out to Africa with her husband at the time. She's a Danish woman, and she has this coffee plantation. Anyway, her husband cheats on her, gives her gonorrhea or some sexual disease. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm not giving true allegiance to the story here, but she meets the Robert Redford character who comes in and sees her eventually now and then. And then, of course, guess what? Her husband cheats on her, she kicks him out, and she falls in love with Robert Redford. Again, who can blame her? And so it's a beautiful, beautiful romance, beautiful, beautiful scenery of Africa. It's a little slow, I will say. I think it's about a 3-hour movie. But she also does an impeccable job portraying this Danish countess in the film. So check out of Africa. I'm also going to mention a 1993 film, which is called Indecent Proposal. And he plays this very, very rich man who can have whatever he wants anytime he wants. He thinks he can buy anything. And he discovers or meets up with Demi Moore in her younger days. She was married to Woody Harrelson in the film. And proposes to this financially struggling couple that he will pay them $1 million to spend one night with Demi Moore. $1 million. So, do they take him up on it or do they not? I'm not going to tell you. You need to watch it, Indecent Proposal. But he plays really a sad character who's looking for love, and he's going about it in all the wrong ways. And how that has an impact on the marriage of Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore, who truly, truly, truly love each other. So I'm going to keep you in suspense with that one. So you'll have to see. And An Unfinished Life in 2005. Unfinished Life. And in this film was also Jennifer Lopez was in this film and plays his daughter-in-law. And he plays this old coot, that's what I would call it, who lives on a ranch that's falling apart. And he is very unhappy, and he's lost his wife, and he lost his son. He can't get over the fact that his son, who is married to Jennifer Lopez, is no longer alive, and he lives in the past. And it's just a sad, sad story. And so anyway, Jennifer Lopez and his granddaughter, whom he's not really had any time for, move in with them when they are down on their luck. And it's really the story of rebuilding community between Robert Redford and Jennifer Lopez and the granddaughter. And is a little touching. It truly is. He truly changes as a character in this film from this crusty, I hate everybody mentality to more acceptance of his daughter-in-law and his grandchild, and how he has hope for the future. So, unfinished life. So that's really my unfinished list. Because, oh yes, there's way many more films that I could talk about when it concerns the great king of the screen, Robert Redford. He'll be forever missed, but you can always enjoy his range of films, acting styles, by watching his movies. So happy Robert Redford viewing. One of the greatest recording artists of all time. I saw this man in concert, I believe in around 1990 at Hilton Coliseum. 3-hour show, never left the stage. It was truly amazing. One of the greatest concerts I've ever been to. So I'm happy to say that I had the chance to see this man in concert. He has retired from that. His Yellow Brick Road tour was a great journey across the whole planet of saying goodbye to his fans, saying goodbye to performing live. You know who I'm talking about, the incomparable Elton John. So instead of talking about The Spirit is Telling Me songs of the 2000s, which are very worthy to look at, and maybe I will do that, I'm going to share some of my favorite Elton John songs and why I like them so much. Elton John, I have many of his albums. I listen to him quite often on Spotify. I would get into what I call the Elton John mode, and I will just play his top hits. And I love them. I just absolutely love them. The man is still performing in terms of recording, I believe. He's not doing the live performance anymore. Happily married, has children. If you ever had a chance to see the film Rocket Man, which is a biography of his life, amazing, fantastic, wonderful film, I would suggest that you see that. But here we go in no particular order. From 1973, I really like the song Benny and the Jets. Benny, Benny. I really like that song. Talking about a singing group, and it sounds like there's a actual audience clapping along in the song. I love that song. Let's see. Oh, yes, I'm going to say this word. The Bitch is Back. 1974. This is before he started wearing hair pieces. Which, by the way, look really good, I gotta say. He has quite a unique outfit style, or quite a costume style, if you ever notice, when he dresses, and especially well known for his assortment of glasses that he wears. But The Bitch is Back is very, very fun to listen to, talking about this particular person who's not very pleasant. So I would suggest that one. Then I also like, I am going to go in alphabetical order today, just for the first few songs that I'm going to mention of Elton John, would be Blue Eyes. And that came out in 1982. And Elton John co-wrote thousands of songs, I think it's safe to say, with Bernie Taupin, and a very, very famous collaborator. But not this one. This one he co-wrote with Gary Osborne. Not sure who that is. But Blue Eyes is a great love song, and it's a slower song. Baby's got blue eyes. And there's many songs about blue eyes. And it's a beautiful song. I would suggest that you go to Spotify and find that. Let's go to the Seas. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? 1994. From The Lion King. He did the motion picture soundtrack for that. He's done the soundtrack for other motion pictures too. And Broadway plays. And musicals. Great love song. In the film is between Simba, Simba and his love. So anyway, then I'm going to mention two more, and then we'll move on next time to some of the other songs of Elton John. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Oh, just mentioned that. Okay, hello. Candle in the Wind, 1973. Comes from the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album, one of my favorite albums, which is really a story about a tribute to Marilyn Monroe, of how her life was so tragic and terrible, and that she just died way too young. And so Elton John capitalized on that in the lyrics for that song. But then in 1997, when we lost Princess Diana, Elton John rewrote some of the lyrics and reissued the song. And it was called Candle in the Wind, 1997. And it made a reference to Diana and how she died way too young. And we all know that happened. She died in that tragic car accident. And he was very, very close to Princess Diana. And so you can hear another version of the song. And I really would ask you to think about checking that out. So there are the ABCs, so to speak, of Elton John's songs so far. It's probably going to take me a number of sessions to talk about the songs that I truly like and I never get tired of and I can come back to at any time. And it makes me experience a wide variety of emotions. Elton John, the original Rocket Man, transcends all generations.
Oh, I find that inside my future lies beyond the yellow brick road.
Let's have a seat round the proverbial table.
Would you like to say grace?
With a nod to our higher power and Mr. B's spiritual journey.
The spiritual journey, my friends. I have that every day, 24 hours. I only have today. I can't do anything about yesterday. That's over. I can't do anything about the future. I could just give it to my higher power and enjoy the today. Now, there are some tools that I probably have referred to throughout our visits that can help a person stay clean, stay sober, stay abstinent, whichever term you want to use. And I use these on a daily basis. Not necessarily all of them, but whatever seems to fit that day. The first one, in order to stay clean, is service. And service is when I give of myself to somebody or something to help that person. I do that by being a sponsor. And I know I probably mentioned this before. I talk to my two of my three sponsees on usually 5 out of a 7-day schedule for 10, 15 minutes every day. And they can tell me anything they want. They know that it's sacred, that I would never share with anybody else. We talk about program. We talk about the steps. We talk about what's going on with their life. We talk about their complexities at the time, their sadness, what's going on with their lives. And I find that there are times that I don't really want to do it. I'll be honest. I'm not wanting to pick up the phone. But it's important that I do because I vowed to be of service to them. And as I said to my one sponsee this morning, is when I'm of service to other people, I'm being of great service to myself. And so that's called sharing the program. You can also do service by being speakers. I've done that. You can help organize a meeting. You can be on a committee. Whatever you choose to do. I choose being a sponsor. I choose being asked to be a speaker for an online meeting or at a convention that I'm willing to do that. That's my way of giving back. You would have to find for yourself what works for you. Another one would have to be phone calls. Which ties in with service for me, is the fact that I very honestly do not like to talk on the phone. I never have. I just don't look forward to it. Now, for example, today, I know when I get done recording that I should call my sponsor. I talked with him yesterday for a few minutes, and I really need to follow that up today. I don't really want to. It's nothing personal against him. I just don't like talking on the phone. I have a really good friend who lives in Long Island that I talk to once a week, and I really should call him today. I call that a service call, in a sense. But right now, I'm not feeling it. But once I start talking, then I'm normally okay. So you just have to pick up the phone and do it. And not texting. You can text, of course, and I'm not saying it's not effective, but I'm talking about actual in-person phone conversations. And I think that's very important to do. I can't think of many days that have gone by that I've not made contact with my sponsees. And that helps to keep me clean too. So service and phone calls. Another one of the tools of recovery that you can use is writing, journaling. And this is something that I really would like to do more of. I know many of my friends in this organization who use journaling as a daily way of connecting with their inner soul. And they can work out problems. They can come to an insight that maybe they never did before. They can talk about it with somebody, but until they actually put the pen to paper, if that's the style you want to use, they can't really solve the issue. So that's an important tool also, journaling. And doesn't have to be done in any certain way or shape or form. So think about that one. And all these are suggestions, not necessarily if you have an addictive trait or you find you have an addictive personality. They can just simply be of help to anybody at any time. Another one of the tools would be physical activity. For me, that is normally walking every day for 1 to 2 miles. And sometimes I do more than that, sometimes less. But it helps me feel better physically, emotionally. I think more clearly. So I would suggest doing that. Get some exercise, go to the gym, walk outside, get on the bike, whatever it needs to be, and find out what works for you. And again, don't go crazy about it and then exhaust yourself and then realize I'm never going to do that again, that's not going to be of help to you. So you don't want to do that. Another one is meditation. I can't talk very much about meditation because I don't really do it. Depends on, I guess, on how you define meditation. When I'm walking early in the morning, I guess maybe in some shape or form that's meditation. Just being quiet, alone with my thoughts. There's lots of different techniques you can use to be an effective meditator. You could go to YouTube videos. You can subscribe to programs. You can just close your eyes, some people say, and just hum, and that can be meditation. I'm not here to say there's any certain style that works better than another, but the whole point of meditation is to shut off your brain and expel all those negative thoughts and just be peaceful, just be tranquil, and let the good thoughts seep in. And there's something to it. I know there is. There is. And so, however you define it, you might want to think about meditation. And if you're unclear as to what that's all about, go to some YouTube. There are many YouTube videos on meditation. They'll give you ways to do it, suggestions, and you can decide what you want to do. So another one would be, for me, would be a plan of eating. I have to have figured out every day what my plan of eating is going to be. What am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to have for lunch? And what am I going to have for dinner, or also known as supper? So, and then I have to adhere to that. I should not deviate from that. And I send that to my sponsor every morning. And that's what I'm going to eat. And that keeps me honest. I will list all my abstinent foods that I'm going to eat that day. And a plan of eating is not the same for all people when it comes to being an overeater. One person can eat maybe a certain food, whereas another person finds that he or she is allergic to it. They really can't have it. So you have to decide what works for you. My plan of attack for food is primarily so much protein every day, so much salad, and so much vegetables every day, so much fruit every day. And then I sometimes will have sugar-free yogurt, but they are all a part of my food plan that I came up with my sponsor. If you are a food addict and you have a sponsor, you can surely try to find some other plan. There's not just one universal plan. It just doesn't exist. So find the one that works for you. Now, there might be some other tools, but I'm going to do 3 readings today that talk about the tools and how by doing the tools, practicing the tools, you will stay clean. This one says, my cultural heritage is one of religious, hardworking, and determined individuals. I learned that if you pray intently, work diligently, and wait long enough, you can accomplish anything. However, in the war with food, I was a casualty. The same 10 pounds that used to be a battle every 6 to 9 months was now every 2 weeks. 10 days of starving followed by 4 days to regain. I am a do-it-yourselfer. A pattern, recipe, or creative idea sets my mind, fingers, and feet in motion. Why wait until tomorrow when I can start today? Here were the 12 steps and the tools. Just do it, I was told. I had the textbook, the phone list, and a sponsor. My stronghold had a new shipment of arms and reinforcement of troops. My battleground was the kitchen. The answers to life are not in the refrigerator or the pantry. That was the problem. Today I live in the answer. That is the steps and using the tools. I changed residence and the problems went away. So if you have a plan, that's really going to help you stay sober and happy. Here's one. What a simple program we have. Just reaching out to each other makes our lives change and affect the future of our progress. I've had many telephone calls which have been just the right message I needed at the time I was most wanting a helping hand. Often I called someone because my desire to overeat was strong, and just the act of dialing the phone changed the emotion from negative to a release of energy, which can start meetings, begin groups, and save lives. I am grateful that the tools of the telephone, anonymity, service, and meetings all work together for recovery. So that's very, very important. Tools of the telephone, anonymity, and service. I guess that reminds me of one of the tools that I did not mention before, and that is anonymity. For example, I don't necessarily have to tell people my last name. I'd rather be anonymous sometimes, just like they are in Alcoholics Anonymous or Sexual Addicts Anonymous or Gamblers Anonymous, because if I go to a meeting of overeaters and I'm anonymous, I might feel much more compelled to be willing to share exactly how I'm feeling and what's going on, and not hide behind the pretense of, well, I don't want you to know this about me because you might use it to judge me or hold it against me. Instead, this is who I am. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be blatantly honest, and I hope that I will find acceptance at that time. So that's anonymity. And the last one for the tools of recovery. This reading says, this helps me remember that repetition in recovery is a wonderful gift. Based on this statement, repetition is the only form of permanence that nature can achieve. Let me repeat that. Repetition is the only form of permanence that nature can achieve. I felt angry that I had followed a food plan for over 7 years, attended meetings, kept 80 pounds off, and I still relapsed. My new denial was not that I had a problem with food, but that this program was not working for me. Though it worked for many others, I was convinced that it would not work for me, and even if it did, it was only temporary. I had then a 10-year relapse, and thinking about being abstinent again was an impossible chore. But today in recovery, I feel that repetition has a beauty and a rhythm. It adds a life-saving structure to my day on 3 levels: physical, emotional, and spiritual. The nightmare is repeated daily if I live in this disease. It can also achieve a form of permanence. So for today, I will use the tools and work the steps to stay physically fit. And I accept that everyone's recovery, not just mine, is permanent only through repetition. That's it, my happy friends. It's permanent only through repetition. Every day, you have a chance to be reborn and live a life not being consumed by your alcoholic foods. So take those tools, my happy friends, and decide what you would like to use, when you would like to use them, what really calls to you to help you stay as they say, ahead of the game. Because your higher power has your best interests at heart. And your higher power wants you to decide for yourself what tools you're going to use to keep your communion or your communication open with your higher power. The tools of recovery, they are worth it. Well, there you have it, folks. I want to thank you for coming to the feast. I hope that you're physically satisfied, emotionally satisfied, and spiritually satisfied. I wish you all a joyous time to love your life and love yourself. And remember, you know your higher power loves you and wants you to be happy. So I'm sending you truckloads of happiness and hearts of love. Until we meet again, bon voyage.
Television dramas and comedic reviews, pet peeves buzzing like honeydew blues, poetry sprinkled like salt on a dish, every word served with a twist and a swish. Belly up to the table, my friend. The feast of thought will never end, from travels far to a spiritual climb. Morsels of musing served in rhyme.
Mr. B's Dinner Party is hosted by Scott Bertelson, edited and produced by Troy Thompson, recorded and distributed at Sunnyside Farm Studios, and platformed by Buzzsprout.
Conversations flowing like fine red wine, world journeys mapped with tales divine. He's hosting a dinner for your hungry mind, a banquet of life where you can unwind. Belly up to the table, my friend. The feast of thought will never end, from travels far to a spiritual climb. Morsels of musings served in rhyme.
Subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share with your friends. Listen and enjoy every other Wednesday. Conversational Morsels for the Mind on Mr. B's Dinner Party.